Hello and welcome to this video series entitled Why I Love Celibacy. It's not too often you get to hear a priest talk about his own celibacy, so you're in luck, because here we have 6 videos where I get to dive into my own celibacy and why I love it. I think it's particularly fitting to have this video series this week because we basically have a marathon of ordinations for the Archdiocese of Dubuque this week. We have 4 men that'll be ordained transitional deacons on the way to priesthood, and then at the end of the week we'll have 2 guys ordained priests for the Archdiocese, and all of them will make the promise of celibacy. And it's pretty cool because quite a few of these guys are actually Iowa State and STA alumni, so please keep them in your prayers. During the course of the week, Kyle Teets, Jake Dunn, and Martin Coolidge will be ordained transitional deacons, and then Joseph Sevchek will be ordained a priest on Saturday. So please keep them in your prayers as they make that promise of celibacy, as they lay down their lives as priests. And so, during this first video, as I talk about that promise of celibacy, I like to begin by describing what celibacy is not. So I'm stealing a page out of Shannon Evans's video series from last week, because sometimes we can know more about something by first describing what it is not. So there are 3 things that I'd like to suggest that celibacy is not. First, celibacy is not bachelorhood. Sometimes when we see a priest, I think we think, oh, there's a guy without a family, so he just lives the bachelor lifestyle. And of course, that's profoundly not true. I remember a comment of a priest classmate of mine, a brother priest of mine, really struck me one time when he said, we were talking about different interests, different hobbies we had, different things that we enjoyed doing. And he said, yeah, I decided to give that up because I'm not a bachelor anymore, I'm a priest. And how profoundly true that is, that all of our time, effort, energy, and emotion, it's given to our parish family. We're not bachelors, we have a family. We have people to love. We have people to give our lives to. And so, here my brother priest was giving up something he enjoyed, giving up something that normally a bachelor would do because that's his interest, but instead decided to say, nope, I'm willing to give that up because I've given my life in celibacy and priesthood to my family, to my parish, and to the church. So that's the first one. Celibacy is not bachelorhood. Second of all, I'd like to say celibacy is not restricting. I think sometimes when we think about celibacy, we think, oh, it's so restricting, the priest can't get married. And I found, at least in my priesthood, that not only is the priesthood not restricting, it's profoundly freeing. I remember at my ordination to the diaconate, when it's the first time you make the promise of celibacy, I remember that moment processing out of the church after diaconate ordination. That was the most freeing moment of my life. I remember having made those promises, and as I was processing out, I remember thinking, finally, I've made the commitment to give my whole life, to lay down my life in celibacy, in service to others, and now I don't have to wonder if there's other things out there. No, I've made the commitment, and now I am free to totally give myself. Celibacy is not restricting, saying you can't do these certain things, you can't get married, you can't have kids, but instead it says you can fully love the parish, you can fully love people, you can fully give yourself to the church. I found on my day of ordination that to be a profoundly freeing reality. Finally, I'd like to suggest that celibacy is not imposed. Sometimes we sort of get the question of, why does the church have the imposition of celibacy on priests? Or why can't priests get married? But celibacy is not a forced thing. It's not an imposition. It is a choice from the priest. When I was in seminary, I knew full well what I was getting into. Well, for the most part, I guess. And on the day of my ordination, it wasn't a surprise to me. I didn't say, wait a minute, you mean I can't ever get married? I can't ever have kids? No, I knew this. I knew this before I even discerned entering seminary. I knew it during 6 years of seminary. I was fully aware of the choice I was willing to make. It wasn't something imposed upon me. It wasn't something that was forced on me. Instead, it was something that I freely chose. Celibacy is a choice. It's my gift to give out of love for others. And since it is a choice, and there is beauty in that and freedom in that, then it has profound power as well. This, I would like to suggest, is why I love celibacy. Partly for what it's not, but even more so for what it is, a freeing gift of love, an open gift of self, not bachelorhood, but instead being able to give up other things to give of myself to Christ and his church and to the parish family. And this gift has profound value in life. Please join us for the next video as we go a little bit deeper into why I love celibacy.